And we are back with World Team League 2022 Winter Codes Round 7, day number 2. I'm your host, of course, Light VIP, and with me is the one, the only, the magnanimous, the smoging AsherBro.
I actually forgot I had it on. It's so comfortable. It's my natural Terran habitat.
I was about to say, it's your neutral state to smoge, Papi. Oh my god! And hopefully we don't have too much smoging today, as of course the CranKy Ducklings will be playing later on. But for the time being, we have Team GP going up against Onsyde Gaming.
Didn't get to see Ryung's pose that much because he hasn't been selected by them, but it's sick.
It's because he's got so much experience posing, you know. He's a veteran pro gamer. He knows how to look good for the camera. We just want to see him look good in game.
What are you trying to say?
I just want to see him play. Like, he does look good in game. Like, we've posted him before. We both just gasmed over him playing before. Like, remember when he beat Dark like a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah,
he played really well. Yeah,
he's amazing.
Pretty good. But they haven't really sent him out yet. I'm hoping Onsyde is a worthy enough opponent to send out Ryung.
I hope so as well, as we're getting a little bit of the ace players here. Of course, Maru, no surprises there. I would have to assume this is just because they fielded him so much, but for Team GP, they are featuring Cham. And this week, once again, we are missing Ryung.
No Ryung. Meanwhile, Onsyde going to be fielding Maru, Solar, and Neeb. So very strong team coming out from them. Good to see Neeb being fielded as well. I don't think he played the last couple of weeks, did he?
Yeah, it's been like a month since we've seen him before. Yeah, it's been a long time, but it looks like for Team GP, Onsyde are bringing out their ace team here. This time, Rex is going to be, on the bench. He's going to be resting things up, and Neeb is going to be waking up early for a pretty interesting PvP that we're going to get into later on.
Yeah, so Neeb is going to be able to snipe out the PvP. I do really like him in the PvP matchup as well. And first up, we're going to have Cham, the champion of LATAM.
Oh, El Champion, Bobby. He was able to dethrone a special in DreamHack Atlanta for the Latin American region, but he's up against someone who is even more special.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good at StarCraft.
It's all right. It's okay.
He wins a lot of games. He wins.
He wins some tournaments. He's
doesn't really lose that much.
He's so good that his own race try to wave off his accomplishments to make sure that they can get away with balance winding. Oh my god, it's crazy, Papi. But I do think that this is going to be a really interesting series because even though Maru is amazing, he's beautiful, he's everything that we want to see in a Terran player, Cham, there's a reason why he was able to take down special. He's crazy in his own right.
That's kind of the reason why I don't think they match up very well, to be honest.
He reminds me of Ragnarok, and you're like, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Cham definitely can catch him off guard in the early game, but Maru's shown time and time again that he can come back from some pretty ridiculous situations. So I think he's going to be feeling very confident. He's also shown a lot in this World Team League that he can really put on a show. He doesn't really mind going for some more out there strategies.
Yeah, he's willing to have fun, sometimes at his own detriment. We have seen that in the past where, maybe overconfident in certain Reaper scenarios. His series against Kelazur comes to mind, for example. But this is a different matchup, and because of that, I agree, it's going to be a really big uphill battle here for our Team GP Zerg. And speaking of spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside Now, we have Cham.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is the Terran. Playing for Onsyde Gaming, this is Maru.
Boy, it's the man of the hour. He's, I think, guaranteed to get the MVP for the season, for the entire tournament. I know they have a couple of interesting trophies and awards that they want to give out for celebrations and stuff like that. Yeah, he's just built different.
Yeah. He does impossible things, like being consistent with Terran.
No one else can do it. No one else can do it. What else can we say?
As we do see. Cham, in fact, is going to be opening with a hatch first, so no roach pressure openings or anything like that, which I think makes sense. That's going to be pretty hard to make work against Maru. Also want to point out, Maru's jumper, I don't know if that's an onside jumper, that looks sick.
Oh yeah. I think they showed off some new merch for Onsyde Gaming, and that's a pretty sick jumper. As Maru's playing with no hands, he's just waking up right now. And as he wakes up, I want to give a massive shout out to NetEase and Doyu for featuring the Chinese stream over on the streaming platforms. Not here on Twitch though.
You didn't mention your favorite one.
Oh, Hojo.
Yeah.
I still don't even know what they do.
It's fine. Worry about that later.
Yeah, I just like saying the name.
There we go. We are seeing pretty standard openings coming out from both players. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Maru going for a 3cc, probably feeling like the favored player in this situation. And it's also just a pretty comfortable map for Terran in general to get up into the 4 or 5 bases and just bunker down a little bit, split the map.
Yeah, do what they do best. Pitch that tent, if you will. I don't know if if Maru is really one to do that, but he's got options if he so chooses. So far, just microing out with his Reaper. Oh my god, somehow getting a kill on that Ling and getting away with his life at 5 HP.
It does take down that Ling, gets a scout on the base as well, and should even be able to heal up a pretty reasonable amount to duck back in and try to snipe that tumor if he wants to. But yeah, we do see that 3rd CC going down there, so it's going to be a 3cc opener coming out from Maru.
Yeah, very standard, very macro-oriented. I do think this is kind of maybe even best case scenario for Cham, because it means that at least in the early to mid game, he can kind of get into his own game and get into his own strategy as well. I would be shocked if he just plans to play straight up against Maru. Like, that just sounds crazy.
Here you see Maru dipping back on in here, getting another Ling, and with only 2 Lings left, he should have pretty free reign to just run around and be a nuisance with this Reaper, try to get an extra little bit of scouting, and behind this we see him getting his gas, getting his starport, so gearing up for very standard openings, so nice to see Maru playing something a little bit more standard. I think he's been playing around with a lot of different 2-base openings with mech.
Yeah.
I don't want to curse it because this still could be mech, but yeah, this is not too crazy by his standards.
Yeah, it's not normal. Maybe it's because he is just waking up. Like, we saw him take his hands off the keyboard and rubbing his eyes and do one of these, like stretching a little bit. So maybe he wants to warm up a little bit. Yeah. I wonder what the strategy is here for Cham, especially because I think we've seen Team GP go for this before, where in game 1 they play normal and then they plan on going for the 1-1. They plan for game 2 with their chosen map to do something crazy there.
The GP maneuver.
Exactly. They never see it coming, puppy. They never see it coming. Suddenly we're 1-1 all over the place and we force the ace match, mate. It's crazy.
I don't think Cham got the memo. Didn't he 2-0 last week?
I think so. I think he champion race, it's he accidentally won. It happens sometimes.
Wasn't it a CVC? You're an animal.
Animal puppy.
As we do to see Maru going into that Viking Liberator Open, so very standard play coming out from him so far.
Yeah, we got the Liberator, we got the Viking hunting down these Overlords. Right now we do see the flock, the squad of Hellions, just kind of perusing around, trying to find whatever tumors they can. What do you call a group of Hellions?
Family. They're all in that Fast and Furious cars.
I love the pause. Family. The family is...
Family of Hellions.
The family, they're threatening the queens. Oh my god, just poking and prodding. Liberator tries to go in, but so far the defensive Cham has been on point. He has been able to keep up with these rotations, and this is kind of what we expect to see from Cham. He is going for that Rotoran.
Yeah, I love this out of Maru as well, feeling really confident in this game, actually going for eBays before his extra axes, so we'll be very greedily going into a fast 1-1, and his 1-1 is a long way ahead of that of Cham's. Does mean that he can play towards a 2-2 timing that will be hitting a lot faster than usual, but he is weak just for this next minute or two.
Oh, exactly. And we'll see what damage is done in that period. Meanwhile, the Liberator actually rotated all the way from the right-hand side all the way over to the left hand, trying to get a little bit of damage here. Oh, the Hellions find their way in towards the third. Oh, don't quite commit, though.
Yeah, not actually too many Lings here, so they could maybe think about committing if they wanted to. Meanwhile, we see this Lib is just going to be taken out by this Spore if Maru isn't reacting in time. There we go, it does go down, but so much mining has been denied there.
Yeah, 7 drones going down, lost mining time, not bad damage whatsoever as Maru has overtaken Cham in that worker count. A little bit scary. Meanwhile, Cham is committed into Roaches, and I'm curious to see if he wants to go for a more defensive style and go Ling Bane Roach Ravager, or if he does intend to hit a timing and at some point cuts workers.
Yeah, this is something that we see a lot from some of the best Terrans in the world. One of the ways that they can kind of show their dominance in the matchup is just by keeping this creep completely pinned back. It's something that we saw Clem doing really well in the matchup as well, and Maru's done a great job of it here, as we do see that double drop heading straight into the main with that Viking kind of guarding the path for the vision, and it's going to get in undetected.
Yeah, exactly. The Viking was able to clear out those spotter overlords earlier. The drop is able to get a little bit of damage here. Roaches are not too far to defend, but oh my god, a lot of Roaches are being focused down.
Wow. What the hell? He just traded so well with those roaches. That was crazy.
Yeah, you just fight, puppy. That's all you have to do.
You will be dropping it back down and just trading with a few more of these roaches as they just dribble in one by one. And all of this is just keeping Cham at home. It's getting a lot of scouting done for Maru. Maru is going to be able to start getting into those tanks, getting into a few marauders as well, getting that second factory. So we'll be getting everything that he needs to help deal with the roaches.
Oh boy, exactly. Just the perfect army here. And again, a bit of a 1-2 punch. We do see the force of Maru moving out across the map. We saw how much Cham was struggling with just a double medevac drop. And now here comes that army.
Yeah, so Maru kind of doing what you're technically not supposed to be able to do and just taking the fight to the roaches, and it is working. He must have been quite far ahead. I guess he does have that upgrade advantage as well.
Yeah, he does have those upgrades. 1-1 is already done. We do see him just stim on forward. Unfortunately, there were no Ravagers and there were no Banelings, so pure Roach is just really not what you want to be seeing here. Just can't really trade well against this bio at all. What's crazy as well is that it was just bio. Like, we didn't even see the tanks come into the fray.
You're on copium, like. It's because he's really far ahead.
You're watching. You're like, nah, mate, Roaches, they're fighting against Marines and Marauders. Don't worry about it.
It's because he's so far ahead, like. You're coping. So we do see that Bane speed being started up, so I'm going to go a little bit more into that hybrid style. Not going to a full 1-1 Roach, but going to be going to a higher drone count, mixing in that Ling Bane as well, and we do see, I believe that's Hive on the way as well.
Yeah, he got a very early infestation bit, and if he's able to hold on long enough to actually get Baneling speed, like, he will have a much easier time holding on to his bases. Bear in mind that Maru hasn't really been able to do too much economic damage, but he just stims on forward anyway. The target firing on the Ravagers is real.
Look away, lad. Look away.
I see this all the time, puppy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it is see Maru just constantly trading with those roaches, keeping those roach numbers down as well. We do see with this yeah, I don't think he actually traded better. I think that was a bad trade, according to that battle report there. But he doesn't really mind. He just wants to keep the pressure up. He wants to keep the roach numbers low so Cham can never push over to his side of the map. And that means that he can keep this creep spread completely pinned back, just with this constant aggression and pressing forward. It's kind of like rolling a snowball down a hill.
Oh my god, exactly. And at the bottom of the hill is Cham, and he's not ready for what's coming his way, puppy. As we do see the army stimming on forward once again, as you were alluding to, the creep has been slowly receding after every single one of these pushes. So just Cham is just going to struggle that much more to hold on. He does have Vipers on the way. Interesting choice, but they're only just now going to pop out, and they have to gather energy. They just aren't ready for this.
Yeah, I think these Vipers are absolutely essential here. These tanks are in such an annoying spot to deal with. It's going to make it really easy for Maru to just kind of jump forward, skirmish with these units, and drop back to the tanks. And that's just so rough for Cham to have to deal with. And he's going to go for this massive attack now as we get a little bit of a lag spike.
Oh, God, who is it? Who is that? Observer.
It's not his lucky day.
It's not his lucky day. Unfortunately, the lucky day is, of course, I believe, the Observer. So hopefully nothing too bad happens here. The concerning thing is that we are in the middle of a fight, in the middle of the engagement. So this is the worst time to be lagging out.
Yeah, get light in there.
Get me in, Poppy. Get me in. Oh god. But of course, if the observer does end up timing out, then we will be resuming from replay. We will be coming back in, maybe even 1 second before the lag out happens. We do have the technology to make that happen, and hopefully, we're able to resume without too many issues.
Of the technology.
We have the technology. We can resume. Imagine not being able to resume from replay, mate. That would be horrible. That's
It's like it's relatively new, right?
I mean, it came out I think in Heart of the Storm. Oh my god, as it sounds like. Show us what's
oh
happening.
my goodness.
Oh my god. They censored the fight.
I heard the roach is dying. I heard they wanted to save you.
I heard Marines screaming as well, but I think they were screaming in victory. I think they were. I think they were happy. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. As we do see those Marines stepping on forward, and unfortunately, Cham has lost a lot of his army now that those Vipers are ready. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to get use out of these blinding clouds. We do see him yoinking the tank forward, actually kind of yoinking the tank into a better position here almost. But the Lings are going to be jumping on top of that one, and he is going to get a cleanup, but at what cost?
Yeah, it looks like every single tank is going to be going down here. Cham barely holding on. We need more Lings. We need more Banelings. We need more of everything. What's important is that both Vipers did survive that attack, so they're going to be able to gather that energy and be ready for the next wave.
Yeah, that's right. And we just see that +2 melee on the way for Cham. We've got the +3 armor as well. So he is just very slightly behind in the upgrades at the moment against the 2-2 of Maru. But Maru is switching into mines now. That's pretty interesting going against his style, as there still are quite a lot of roaches.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what you really want here, but maybe he sees something we don't. Maybe he feels confident enough regardless. What's important, though, is that Cham hasn't really been losing too many of his bases or too many of his workers. Would you see Maru stimming on forward trying to snipe a hatchery? Not one here quite yet. Doesn't even go for the creep for the time being. So Cham's economy is quite solid, and he's going to be able to remax.
Yeah, he does have his 5 bases up and running. Got a pretty healthy drone count. We do have Maru on the same count as well. So the economy for the Terran should be just that slight bit stronger at the moment, especially with the minerals. And he's just looking to trade, really.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, we have a parasitic bomb, but nicely done. Maru does drag away that power-bombed medevac. The army is steaming on forward once again. Cham was attempting to spread a little bit of creep here in between the bases, but Maru is here again.
Yeah, Maru going straight through the middle here, and there's not that much creep here to stop him. He is starting to creep forward with these mines as well, so the Viper's not going to be anywhere near as effective as they were before.
Oh god, and how good are these Widow Engines going to be? It looks like we have some... Oh my god, a massive connection on the Ling Bane.
Yeah, huge Widow Mine gets dragged into that pack of Ling Bane, and Maru just microing his way all the way back, so far off creep now, and Cham chasing a little bit deep there, just getting a little bit overeager, I think, but he still has a decent army to be able to deal with this. Maru's just being relentless with his pressure.
Oh, exactly. I mean, now the Widow Mines have been revealed. We do have another power bomb connecting here with this army. Widow Mine shot doesn't go off. The Ling Bane is able to force Maru off of that creep.
Yeah, you see Maru actually preemptively splitting the medevac. He wasn't quite sure which one it was, so he just pulled one out. But we do see Cham is starting to go into that chitinous plating, is getting those ultras on the way. And this is the answer to what Maru is doing here. This is what's going to relieve the pressure if he can get enough out. If he doesn't get enough out, they're just going to get sniped.
Oh god, exactly. We'll see if he can get them in time, especially because we already have a couple of ghosts on the field. Meanwhile, Maru, we see why he wanted those Widow Mines. He's going to go for some Widow Mine drops to try and get some economic damage done. He rotates over to the left-hand side. Cham a little bit out of position. That hatchery sustaining a lot of damage.
Yeah, Maru just flexing his multitask here, dropping those Widow Mines while setting up on this hatchery. The hatchery is going to go down. Cham taking a really nice fight here, though.
Oh, meanwhile, we do have another Widow Mine shot going off. A little bit of friendly fire on those ghosts. Cham wants those ghosts so badly. He needs a couple more Lings. Maru, aware of that, does barely pick off here. Powerbomb doesn't get the medevac with the ghosts.
Yeah, great split off there, but Cham actually getting a little bit of headway with this push. And this is the first time we've really seen the game pushed over into Maru's side of the map. It's really important for him that he keeps these ghosts alive with the ultras on the horizon.
Oh, exactly. The Banelings roll on forward in towards the natural base. 6 SCVs are going to go down. Not too many. I don't think that was the most saturated of bases. In the end, Maru is going to be able to hold on. Cham, can he get into that ultra production? Does he have the economy for it? Because he just lost that base.
Yeah, there we go. He's going to be moving from base to base. He does have that bottom right-hand corner base, so he will be able to get that up. But Maru, at the same time, he is up on his 6 bases. And when you're playing at TVZ against someone as good as Maru, you do not want to have an even split of bases.
Yeah, exactly. Or even behind right now as Cham again doesn't have the left-hand hatchery up anymore. Meanwhile, Ultras are on the way. We do have... Oh, I thought we had 3-3. We still don't have +3 melee still on the horizon. We at least have kindness plating. And this so far has gone unscattered. Maybe Cham can actually take a good fight on creep if Maru pushes out.
Yeah, Maru's going to have to be very careful just to keep that the ghost count up at a healthy amount. But meanwhile, he is just going for these low commitment pushes, does sense that there is going to be some kind of tech like that on the horizon, and he's just hunkering down on this split map situation.
Oh god, exactly. And now Maru, he's just pushing in even further on the most important base here of Cham. We have the EMPs on those Vipers.
Yeah, the Ultras have revealed himself, so Maru's going to pick up, get on out of there. He's going to be able to drop back to this planetary fortress. Did a good job cleaning out that creep, so they're just going to make the PF a lot safer, but Cham, he is just sending it straight through the middle.
Yeah, but he turns around because he recognizes that he's about to lose his most important mining base. He's a little bit of 2 mines. He will send a run by in towards the natural, but he will still lose this hatchery.
Yeah, and Maru, he is microing on both fronts here. He's trading with those Ultras really well with the mines and the Marines. Is going to be taking out this hatchery and getting out of there as well. So Maru just attacking on both fronts, showing off his multitask here.
Yeah, and that run by, I believe, was cleaned up. I don't think Cham was able to deal much damage whatsoever. He's pushing on forward here on the right-hand side. He runs into the ghost, but I think there's just too much Terran, especially with that planetary fortress. Cham just doesn't have enough.
Okay, so the snipes going down. Beautiful control out of Maru. GG, and no reaction, of course.
GG, well played. To be fair, I'm really impressed with Cham and how well he was able to hold on there. You could argue that maybe Maru was, again, overconfident with some of his engagements. You were talking about it when he would, like, sim and just fight the roaches head on, and it wasn't the most efficient of trades, and because of that, like, Cham was able to just buy more time, and it took longer for Maru's pushes to really get going. So yeah, I'm still, despite that, I'm impressed with what Cham was able to bring here.
Yeah, that was disrespectful by Maru, just fighting those roaches like that. That's kind of insane. But yeah, Cham showing that he should be respected because he did a really good job holding on. And he had a few moments there when he was pushing back into that main base of Maru. Things were getting pretty close. There was just a few ghosts, a few medevacs left. Maru just kind of holding on by the seat of his pants there.
Yeah, I'll be honest, if you remember, just before he was able to break through and push through the middle of the map, one Widowmine shot actually got a really good connection on a lot of Lings. I think if that Widowmine shot hadn't happened, those Lings obviously would have been a part of that push, and I think maybe Cham would have been able to clean up those ghosts. Like, I think we would have had a bit of a different game there if those Widowmines weren't as good as they were.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was a huge shot that went off on all of those. So, yeah, very interesting style coming out from Maru. I do kind of understand the mines just as a way to stay out on the map. I guess you can't be pushing like that constantly with all that pressure with tanks, but that was pretty wild, to be honest.
Something that only Maru can do with his hyper mobility and his multi-prong attacks. It was, yeah, really interesting to see come to fruition. I don't recommend every Terran on the ladder to try and do that because they maybe are going to have a hard time, especially just fighting roaches.
Free ladder points.
No, I'm still going to lose, puppy. What are you talking about? Oh my god. Yeah, great game number 1, but now it is Cham's map pick.
Yeah, and Cham is going to be picking Stargazers, so maybe Cham wanting a little bit more room to work this time, wanting to get into a bit more of a late game situation, and I think Maru might just oblige him.
Oh, I wonder if he will. I wonder if we're going to be seeing another, 3cc Banshee-esque or 3cc opener here from Maru. I do think that is what our Zerg player is looking for in the top right-hand corner representing Team GP. It is Cham.
Oh, silky smooth. As we have spawning in the top left-hand corner, the red Terran playing for Onsyde Gaming. This is Maru.
Oh boy, and honestly, even though Cham lost game number 1, when you're up against Maru and when you made it as close as it was, like, man, you gotta be feeling pretty good about yourself. Like, maybe a couple of mistakes here and there, the game could have turned out completely differently.
Yeah, exactly. There definitely were some opportunities there, but meanwhile for Cham, we are seeing just going for that hatch first once again. Understands that Maru's defense is extremely strong. Doesn't want to go for anything too crazy to start off with.
Mhm. And
And
meanwhile,
mhm.
go on.
I was going to ask, do you think Maru's going to go for mech? Are we going to see the two port BC maybe?
No, oh god, have you seen Maru do two port BC?
Yeah, I think so.
That's disgusting. I was going back into my memory banks. I'm like, I don't think I've seen him do that. Is he really that disgusting? But maybe he is. You know, he is everything Terran.
I think he
Oh
kind
my
of does
god.
everything. He just
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like if he did do a two port BC build, the BCs would do absolutely nothing and he'd be way behind and he'd still just like win
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, he'd win it. He'd cut the map in half anyway, and
Yeah.
max out on mech.
Yeah.
Oh god, this wouldn't be a bad map for it. To be fair, any kind of
Mhm.
Sky Terran oriented opener. Um, yeah, I'm curious. I honestly, I'm a little bit more curious as to what Cham is going to bring to the table. We were talking about the
Yep.
GP maneuver earlier, how you know they try and lure you into a false sense of security, and then bam, all in.
Well, I think something that we have been seeing a lot out of Zergs on this map is going for muta heavy play. Those mutas can be really annoying to deal with once the Terran is set up on their four bases, just kind of in that quadrant up in the top left-hand corner. The mutas can just bounce back and forth between them, and it's a really long rotation by ground to cover all those bases.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like mutas can really excel. We have seen, you know, maybe some Zerg players read a little bit and maybe don't quite successfully transition into those mutas, but we'll see. Cham, to be honest,
Oh,
as the Reaper goes down, oh my god, Maru getting a little bit cavalier with that Reaper.
yeah, Maru going crazy with his Reapers once again, a bit like we saw against Kelazur, but this time is going to be going instead for a double gas opening. So not going for that fast 3cc, going to be looking for something a little bit more aggressive. And I have seen a lot of players going for Hellbat Marauder builds on this map as well.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Maru does whip that out. You know, as you were saying, does delay his third CC by quite a bit by going for that starport and gas. Meanwhile, this is what I expected. Cham goes for a very fast lair.
Getting that very fast layer coming out. So I am expecting Cham to, as we were talking about, go for those mutas to be a bit more abusive than with those. But we're actually seeing from Maru going for a quick stim. So probably not going to be going for any fast Hellbat build.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how all this comes together. So far, only one gas has been taken here from Cham. He throws down his Roach Warren. So I sense potentially a Roach timing here with speed. Maybe even a Night Display into the pocket base wouldn't be too bad either.
Yeah, maybe, and maybe Maru knows that, and that's why he's going for the Viking as well.
True,
The Viking
true.
can be really, really strong against that kind of player. Should just be able to keep him safe. He can even go for a little bit of scouting around the map with it, but yeah, we do just see
Oh,
that Overlord's a little sus.
yeah, there we go. Nidus is on the way here for Cham. Look, I know my Latin American Zergs, okay? We're all apes, papi. Oh my god. But the Overlord is gonna be going down here. Do we have any other active Overlords available for Cham? Does he have any vision across the map?
Yeah, I think there was another one at the top left over there.
Hmm.
It does look like Maru's running around with the Italians, actually trying to look for them. That's very interesting. I think Maru knows exactly what he's doing, to be honest. I don't know how. I have no idea how, but he seems to have a
Oh,
decent idea. But no, actually, this one is going to be getting up completely out of the vision of Maru, and this is going to get very interesting.
oh, let's go, puppy. So far, the Hellions are poking and prodding here outside the natural base. Viking gets landed in the main. Cham is going to be losing some workers, but what is Maru going to be losing as now the Nidus has been revealed?
Yeah, the Nidus is going to be charging into his base there. We do see him attacking that starport, taking out that reactor there, and there is a decent number of roaches here. It's going to be a tough hold for Maru, but his stim finishes up really early, so that's going to help a lot.
Yeah. That stim timing is huge here. He will have that available to defend. He also has one tank, soon to be a second tank as well. Meanwhile, Nidus is thrown down in the natural of Maru.
Yeah, so things are going to be starting to get a little out of control. It does look like Maru sees it. He's going to be sending the Hellions over, but that's not going to be enough DPS to clean that up. This Overload going to be going down, but both tanks have been committed into the main, and that means this natural must be evacuated, and things are getting very interesting here for these two players.
Yeah, the Marines, they went down to the natural as well. They did go for the stim, but they were a little bit too late. Looks like +1 attack is going to be denied as well. Another Nidus to help reinforce. I believe the Nidus in the pocket base was cleaned up, but Cham, he's kind of breaking through. The tanks, though, they do rotate back down.
Yeah, tanks have been rotated. These Niduses are going to be taking out. That stim for Maru is doing work, but we are seeing this creep slowly start to spread into the main of Maru. Gets the tanks back in position just in time.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, no Ravagers to really deal with those tanks. Looks like the Nidus wasn't dealt with, but there is enough here to push into the main base. Cham, I don't think he wants to really take this fight.
Oh, no, the move command. Oh, dear, that's so rough. I think he might have just target fired at those tanks and maybe a misclick there, trying to reset them, doesn't quite get the engagement he wants, and Maru takes that one down.
Jeez, that was so close. It's like Cham was doing damage, but he was getting work done. He was killing add-ons. He was denying upgrades. He was getting some SCV kills at the natural. As you were saying towards the end there, a little bit of miscontrol. He even attacked his own tumor at the end as well. Just maybe panicking a little bit because of the situation. So unfortunate.
One of those situations, sometimes when you have this huge MMR mismatches and you can feel that you're starting to win, that's when the nerves really kick in. It's not like when you're going into the game because you don't have that high expectations for yourself. But once you start to sense that you're actually getting somewhere, that you might actually be able to take down Maru, that's when, suddenly like your hands are shaking, you can't think straight. And unfortunately, Cham doing his best there, actually kind of scratching at that surface of Maru, making him bleed.
Yeah, showing that, he isn't the God King that we all know him as, just unfortunately.
Let's not get carried away.
Oh my god. He's bleeding, puppy. He's the false king. But you know how it is, palms are sweaty, knees weak, mom's spaghetti. Cham just fumbles it at the end zone. A little bit there. I say end zone. It wasn't like he was straight up winning, but like there was definitely an opportunity there, and things we're not looking too bad for him.
Keeps on forgetting the roaches just won't come out. Everybody
choking now. Everybody's choking now. Time's run out. Over plow, snap back.
Yeah,
let's go. See, this is a song that I know. You had me the other day with the complicated and the skater boy. I couldn't do it, but here, mate, let's go, papi.
You got that 9 mile. 8 mile.
You haven't even seen the movie. You haven't even seen. You're an animal, papi. 8 mile. 8 mile. Yeah.
It's before my time.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm a zoomer.
Copium. What do? They like check their pulse at their elbow. They do the.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's for.
Catch the woe. Can you throw me the woe light?
What?
Throw it to me.
What are you? What are you saying? What are you saying? Throw you the woe? The
woe. There's not going to be anyone in the chat who gets it either, because it's StarCraft. We're all boomers, puppy.
What does that mean? Look, the only Zoomer speak I know is Smoj, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
we've come this far.
And Push and P. I know that. Yeah.
Push and P?
Push and P.
I haven't said Push and P in a while. I don't know. I really don't know. Well,
tell Migs to play it more often, because it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah. He needs a command for that. Or like a point redemption.
Kind of does. Point redemption, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just have to ask. Here we go. We do have Solar's powerful hexagon. 9 in offense, 9 in macro, no slouch whatsoever.
Oh yeah, Solar, another top dog, is going to be coming out. One of the best Zerg players in all of Korea, going up against Prince. Again, another bit of a mismatch, but we saw how close Cham was, especially on his map of choice. Meanwhile, a very interesting map is being forced here in game number 1. We are diving into Stargazers.
Yeah, we're going straight back onto Stargazers, and in a different matchup in the PvZ. This can be very interesting. I have seen a lot of games where the Protoss has been punished for being a little bit greedy by a big Ling Queen Niduses in that same area. The Cham was dropping down that Nidus, so it's up to Solo whether he wants to say, Team GP, you got some nice moves, but let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how to drop a Nidus.
Let me show you how to cheese, Papi. We'll see, mate. Again, Stargazers is such... I always love casting it because we barely get to see it. Everyone wants to veto it, Papi, for good reason. But in a PvZ, this is going to get interesting because if Solo doesn't go for any aggression, then things can turn in favor of our Protoss player in the top left-hand corner representing Team GP, Prince.
And in the top right-hand corner, playing for Onsyde Gaming, this is Solar. I don't like how the hatcheries pulse. I want to kill it.
You don't like that it's alive?
Yeah.
You want it to be dead.
I wanted to burn it with fire.
It's just living, Papi. What do you mean? It's just minding its own business. Just, pumping that juice.
Making queens.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Hatcheries only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Okay, look, if we get rid of the queens, then you get rid of the marines. Okay, we can make this work.
Aye.
Oh God.
I don't negotiate with terrorists.
I don't negotiate with Zergs. Oh my God. But so far we have some pretty standard openers coming in here. So I'm really curious as to what Prince plans to do, especially because on a map like this, you can pretty easily split the map in half and get up to 4 bases. 3 bases for sure, definitely 4 bases. You're trying to a third. So there is an opportunity to, if we wanted to, get into some Stargates, get into some Skydos.
We always want to.
You always want to.
It's not even true. We just see very standard builds coming out from both players. We just see this pro being incredibly annoying.
Yeah, just tasing away at some of these drones, just being annoying, forcing that alert box, trying to get into the mind, into the brain of a Solar here. Of course, though, he's not going to be phased, not yet. He already forced to take the unnatural natural.
Yeah, we just see those drones just having to transfer across, and most likely going to be seeing Prince chronoing out some adepts just to try to take advantage of Solar's forces having to be split across that big gap without creep.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We should be seeing some adepts headed in that direction to try and take control of that area. Meanwhile, no surprise, we do have a Stargate opener coming out from Prince, but let's take some bets. Are we going to see an Oracle first or a Void Ray first?
Phoenix.
What's wrong with you? Okay. So we'll see if the Phoenix does come out. Meanwhile, one adept is just gonna again park itself in between these bases, trying to catch whatever it can. Does run into these queens and gonna get a bit of a scout off. Does confirm that gases have been pulled out of the gas geyser.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take out one of those drones. Does just have a little skirmish with that queen over there, and we are seeing a Void Ray being started up. So is Void Ray going to be very useful for just pushing away these overlords, just hiding whatever the continuation of his build is. And there are a lot of options from here.
Yeah. And hey, you were close. Both the Phoenix and the Void Ray, they can shoot up. So they're basically the same unit. And we'll see what comes out after this. The Void Ray isn't the biggest tell. It just shows that Prince wants to keep his build hidden from Solar as best as he can. And there we go. Behind the Void Ray, we have an Oracle.
Yeah, and these adepts, they are kind of venturing out a little bit far here. We do see the Lings of Solar just sharking around, but very nice positioning by Prince. He's just going to cover that adept in the crook of those minerals with that probe, and Solar, realizing he can't get any damage, will just be droning on up.
Yeah, he will back on up. He is making a small wave of Lings, but I feel like they're just more safety Lings than anything, maybe to just poke at the third, but there's no way for him to really shut it down in any meaningful way. Just forced to drone up from here, and this is what kind of I was alluding to earlier. Prince, like, it's pretty easy to get these 3 bases and then the pocket base from here, I believe. The Oracle is going to be moving out from here as well. Second Oracle behind it.
Yeah, he's going to be pumping out those Oracles, so it just looks like he's going for a little bit of a roundabout way into this more typical Blink Oracle-based style. We are seeing, though, that the Twilight's still quite a fair way off and actually going into a Robo first, so pretty interesting stylistic play coming out from Prince. This is not really an order of tech buildings that I've seen that much before.
Oh my god, speaking of, I haven't seen this quite before either. Solar slipping up a little bit here and a lot of drones being caught in that stasis at the same time. We've got some Glaveless Adepts pushing out across the map, 6 Adepts in total. Finally, there is that Twilight Council, there is that Forge. We are going to be seeing ground toss coming out from Prince. Very delayed. I guess he's looking to maybe get into earlier Immortal production as a result, but in come those Adepts.
Yeah, we do have those shades finishing up. They are going to be skirmishing with those Lings. Solar quite light on the Lings, but it looks like he does just have enough. And we're going to be seeing that recall, but not before a lot of those Adepts are going down.
Yeah, at the same time, Double Oracle is going into the main base, only getting 3 drones for the time being, but all 3... Oh, I spoke too soon! The Oracle's going to go down!
Oh, yeah. Nice positioning by Solar, just trapping that Oracle, and that Oracle is going to be going down. That's a lot of the utility of Prince taken away there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, even defending this third base is going to be a little bit questionable. The Oracles do have to turn around and come back home. There we go. Immortal production has commenced, so Prince was getting ready for a Roach counterattack. That's why he prioritized that Robo above anything else. But he lost a lot for a little there. I think he needs to maybe watch some Patty Mac VODs to get a little bit more on point with, with saving those Adepts.
Get that recall speed sped up as he will be going for the stasis trap once again, and looks like Solar not going to be fooled twice, or is he?
Ooh.
Only 2 going down. Looks like he was going to go back to mining a little bit too quick there.
Not like this, Poppy. Not like this. It looks like he pulls back just in time. Doesn't lose too much. Meanwhile, Solar is just going to take a 4th base here towards the bottom right-hand corner. His worker count not looking amazing, though. Only 67 to 65 probes. So economically, Solar not really where he should be at this stage of the game.
Yeah, Prince has done a good job of just kind of keeping him guessing, keeping him in the dark. He's gone for a bit more of a middle-of-the-road approach to things, but we do see that infestation pit coming up, so we'll be teching further on along. And I think this is one of the features of this map as well, that the Protoss can hide what they're doing pretty well because of that back base, because of how fortified they are at the front of these first few bases.
Oh, definitely, and I'm a little bit shocked here. Prince doesn't go for the 4th as his pocket base. No, he expands linearly towards the south instead. He's saving that for a little bit later on, so this is going to be a little bit more exposed, but if he gets this up and running, if he gets a good, decent defensive position, then yeah, he's going to be able to even take his 5th that much easier later.
Yeah, Prince going into a lot of bases there, but at the same time, Solar getting in that scout at a really nice timing there, and we are seeing him just powering up on Roaches, getting that +1 getting the +1 range attack, actually. So he's going to be looking to go for a heavier Roach timer.
Yeah, he looks like he has cut drone production for the time being. 74 is what he's going to be staying at. Nothing but Roach Ravager going to be on the way here. Solar going to be looking to basically max out while he pushes out across the map. And Prince, I worry for him. He does have Immortals, which are nice, but he doesn't have a Robotic Spay. Without Disruptors, it can be difficult to defend against these massive Roach Ravager pushes.
Yeah, he has a decent number of Immortals and Sentries, but he kind of just doesn't have the biggest number of anything in particular, and he is going a lot of different ways with his tech. So he's got the Storm on the way as well, got a Fleet Beacon coming down as well. So this seems to be hitting at a really awkward timing where he's just between quite a lot of different techs, and he's also a little out of position here.
Oh my god, 2 Eye Templar go down immediately. We have a couple of force fields cutting up this army, but I think it may be a little bit too late. There's nothing protecting these Immortals.
Yeah, the Storm is way too far away. We don't have any Disruptors. We don't have Storm. We just don't have enough AoE to deal with these Roaches. And there really just isn't that much on the ground to buffer for these Immortals.
Oh, there really aren't. That one Void Ray is going ham here. Only one Immortal was focused down. Solar is going to back off in the end, and he's teching up. We have a Hive on the way and a Lurker Den. I feel like maybe he could have pressed the issue a little bit further. And this is scary because he didn't. Prince is getting away with the Fleet Beacon. We have 2 more Stargates on the way as well.
That is true, but Solar scouting that instantly, so he has all the information he needs. It's just up to him to decide how he's going to react, and looks like his decision is going to be to just push straight down the middle here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He needs to get rid of all these Roaches. These Roaches are dead supply. Solar is basically maxed out on an anti-ground army. Upon seeing these Void Rays, he's going to back off. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I guess he doesn't want to lose too much too quickly before he gets a solid anti-air army. But again, like, he's just giving Prince more time.
Yeah, Prince is getting a little bit more time. We just see him being a little bit indecisive, it seems, with these Roaches.
Yeah, he's of two minds. He's like, do I attack and try and get some damage done? But if I do, I could trigger a counter attack and then I could die. Uh, he's got 8 lurkers on the way, so maybe he's waiting until he has those, so he's feeling a lot more secure in his ability to defend a counter attack. But this also means that he's not quite ready to deal with pure carrier. He's going to be working on with Hydro Lurker Viper.
Yeah, meanwhile, he does cancel his second Lurker Den, I believe, so he's going to be getting a Spire instead, getting a Nidus too, so I think the Nidus will actually be a really nice way to make use of these Roaches, and if you can get the Lurkers on top of that production, start taking out the Stargates, he won't have too many carriers that he has to deal with, but this is a really nice timing on this Zealot Rumbo.
Yeah, I love the Nidus play as well. I do think that it's a little bit late of a response. Meanwhile, the Zealots get into the main base. They're going for a surround on the Lurker Den at the same time. Nidus into the pockets. Wait,
Oh yeah, and the AI of the Lings just kind of being a little bit derpy there, so that is, I think, going to be denied. I don't know what it says.
yeah, it was denied. I believe Seismic Spines was not finished. Meanwhile, we have that Nidus finishing up here in the main base, but the Lurkers are fighting carriers.
Yeah, we have the Lurkers here. We have the Queens as well. We have the Overlord coming in just to poop a little bit of creep there to make sure that they can transfuse, but those Lurkers get absolutely decimated, and I'm a little worried that Solar's thrown away what was his main advantage, but he is using the distraction to get the Roaches at the front. There are too many cannons. He has to back off now.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, Solar is maxed, but he's stuck with all of these Roaches. He has to switch into something else. He needs more Hydras. He needs more Corruptors. He's working on his upgrades. Solar sustaining a massive loss there is going to give Prince now the opportunity to max out himself.
Yeah, and this is a scary max out that Prince has. He will just be able to send in a few waves of Lings, start to trade those off, and of Zealots, trade those off, and start to go into further and further carrier numbers. And yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Solar here. He does finally get to use his Roaches, but not on his terms whatsoever.
Yeah, it's not what he really wanted out of this. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of Lurkers in position. I don't think we have any detection available, so breaking into these bases is going to be a little bit difficult. There we go. The Observers coming in. Storms are going to be zoning away the ground army, and it looks like Prince going to be able to push on through.
Yeah, the lack of Lurkers, the lack of Lurker range as well is a massive problem here. He's not really able to zone out these High Templars like he would like to, and all those Lurkers that he lost in that attack that he went for with the Nidus, it's really a problem for him right now.
It really is. Meanwhile, Zealot Rambai causes the entire Roach army to respond. The Lurker count was reset once again. Prince thinking about pushing on forward. A lot of his interceptors have gone down, so he has to be a little bit careful with this army, but he still has those storms.
Yeah, good number of Hydras here. They are going to be able to focus down these interceptors. Should be able to jump on top of these Archon as well. This Archon looking very low, but the Storm does zone them out as we see a few more Lurkers being started up, and the Roaches are going to repel this Zealot attack.
Oh, exactly. Thankfully, the Zealots have been dealt with. Solar can now reclaim control of his bases. He hasn't lost too many workers, just tech more than anything. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Spire, was the Spire sniped as well? Oh, wait, no, it's okay. It's alive. The upgrade's on the way.
Oh yeah, we do have that Flyer Carapace on the way. Quite a few different upgrades all going down for Solar here. So all in all, Prince is really making quite the game of this. And Solar does get that scout on the extra base going down, but there's something right in front of him he has to deal with right now, and that is 5 carriers.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that, but Solar looked really uncomfortable in his chair. He was like, oh god, he was trying to reposition a little bit. He knows he's up against the wall right now. He knows that Hydro Lurker just isn't really what he needs. He's trying to work on those air upgrades. He's trying to eventually transition into Corruptors once he does lose that supply, but again, he has to try and trade slowly and then transition.
Yeah, this is a really scary moment here, and these Lurkers, they are in a lot of trouble if the carriers do get on top of them. The Storms are going to be zoning out as well. The Archon's right on top of the Lurkers. The Lurkers are melting.
Oh my god, the Lurkers evaporate. Only a single Lurker remaining after that engagement. Meanwhile, we still have the Storms. We still have plenty of Archons, plenty of carriers. Another massive warp in to back this up. And Solar, he's forced to just keep morphing in his Hydras into Lurkers. He just doesn't really have that much anti-air left.
Oh, this is not the first time that I have seen Zerg anti-air dwindling in the face of overwhelming carrier numbers, and I think Prince might just have too much here.
Yeah, man, I'm getting Sephiron versus Mighty Kiwi flashbacks right now. Not again, Puppy, not again. We have a Yoink coming in. It looks like the Hydras, they do get one of those carriers. We do have a revelation on these Lunkers. Here we go. Prince just powers on through, nothing to stop the carriers.
Yeah, his Archon's just churning through everything on the ground. The carrier's uncontested. The Parabomb will put a lot of damage on them, but it is not enough. Prince takes the upset victory for Team GP.
GG, well played, Prince. With the defensive style on Stargazers, he was able to get his 4 bases up and running, his 5 bases up and running, survive long enough to get into his Skytos. But at the same time, it did feel like there were a lot of moments there with Solar. He was doing a great job at scouting, but very indecisive with what to do with his army.
I think I must be tired because I'm having the dumbest thoughts. I just looked in the background of Prince's camera and it looks like he had an office chair set up in front of a toaster. And I'm just kind of imagining like him starting his day off and like sitting down as if he's going to type at a computer and then just like pushing the toaster and just like sitting in front of it like all day.
That sounds amazing though. Like if he has like a toasting station where he's got like the bread and he's got like cheese or he's got like jam and stuff, and he gets to work every morning, you know.
Like puts his headphones on and is like, time for my morning meeting, and just like pushes the toast down and just sits there.
Look, Prince, he takes his toast seriously, okay? It's the little things in life that can go the furthest way.
But speaking of little things, we do have not so little upset here with Prince taking that big win over Solar. Maybe kind of showing why Solar's not quite got the highest score from the SC boy Raiders here. Maybe they've seen Solar get upset a few too many times. Maybe by Protoss. I know Solar does find Protoss pretty annoying.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. We've talked about, Solar maybe even like cutting a couple of mindset points just because he has expressed his frustrations in ZVP, especially in the previous meta, especially against Skytos. And I'm sure Prince is aware of that. And for him to bring that out on Stargazers, that's like rubbing salt in the wound, It's it's hitting him where it hurts. So I do think that was very smart of Prince. And I think this is a very interesting map choice from Solar to go for Tropical Sacrifice.
Yeah, they're just interviewing Solar and they're like, so what do you think about Protoss? And he's like, oh yeah, Protoss feels a little bit too strong. Wait, why are you writing? What are you writing? Why are you writing down so much? And they're just like, oh, nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Very interesting. Keep talking about Protoss.
Yeah. So what exactly do you dislike about it? What build specifically? Okay.
We need to erase that. Just bring that in a little bit.
Smooch, puppy smooch. As the hexagon gets smaller and smaller. Oh god, but yeah, interesting map choice because Tropical Sacrifice is one of the larger maps in the map pool. It can be quite defensible. Isn't a bad map for Prince to go for that same style. So I have to imagine that Solar, maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of practice on Stargazers. I have to imagine he's looking to be a little bit more aggressive on this map, despite the defender's advantage.
Yeah, I don't really see Zergs picking Stargazers against Protoss too often. It is not like out of the question that would just be the veto. I think in general, a lot of players just kind of assume that Stargazers isn't going to get played, but here we do have on Tropical Sacrifice playing for Team GP, looking to continue this upset. This is Prince.
Oh, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, representing Team Onsyde Gaming, it is Solar.
Do you see the mind games continuing as Prince is going to be going for a no scout here? So Solar, he gets his hatch, but Prince kind of wins out on the mind games because there's not going to be anything too aggressive coming his way.
Definitely. Meanwhile, hold on. I need to enhance. Are you talking about like behind him in the next room? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a toaster.
Okay. I'm just
maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna back you up on that one. He's got a toaster in the office.
Maybe I just want some toast. Like I just really want like just some bleached, awful white bread, and it's just like it's a little bit too toasted, and then it's buttered, and the butter's like melting on the toast because it's still warm.
Wait, are you saying this is a good thing or a bad thing? The bleached toast drew me off.
Yeah. Just like that really that crappy white bread that you get from
Wonder
the supermarkets.
Wonder bread.
It's so good.
Yeah, oh, it's it's amazing,
love
Bobby.
it.
What do you mean, mate? Nah, you
Did
know
you
what's
ever, when you were younger, like
uh
like rip out the middle of the bread and like scrunch it into like a really tight ball?
yes.
Yeah, it's like extra flavor bread.
Is it extra flavor?
I don't
Oh
know.
my
It's just like
god.
more flavor density.
Yeah, it's more dense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like concentrated sandwich.
I kind of like when I first worked out to do that, to like crunch it up really
Yeah.
small and eat it. I felt like I was doing something wrong, like it was like illegal or something.
You're defying the laws of physics right now. You're somehow compressing this meal into something that's bite size.
Like, am I
Crazy,
gonna get
Bobby.
in trouble for this?
I was gonna say, mate, you know what's king, and you're wrong if you think otherwise. When it comes to
Okay.
toast, is raisin toast, and then
Uh-huh.
you put the butter on
With the
where
butter?
when it's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it's
yeah.
when it's hot and it melts in.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. It's like hot
Oh,
cross bun, but even better.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nah, legit. That's true.
And that's king mindset toast right there.
Yeah. I mean, this is way too much information, but raisin toast does not agree with me, and I still eat it all the time.
It's worth it,
I'm like,
Poppy.
it's
It's
worth
worth it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. People in the chat, if you haven't had raisin toast with butter melting on it, then try it. Okay, it'll
It's
change
good.
your view on reality.
Just don't have it with a coffee on an empty stomach anymore.
Oh god. Speaking of an empty stomach, and speaking of someone who does not skimp out on their toast, Papi, we did have a Twilight Council opener, and it wasn't for Glaives, it wasn't for Blink, it wasn't for Charge, it was for something else.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen this in ages, but this used to be a very common build against Zerg to go for this DT opening, usually into an Archon drop as well. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to be happening. I don't see any pylon or gateway out on the map. I don't see any robo either.
Yeah, that's what really threw me off. Oh, as we have a little bit of delay on this third base, but I was concerned that maybe I was blind, maybe I was, something was wrong with the brain. But I was like, "Where's the robo? I don't understand here. Why is there not a prism moving out across the map?" And yeah, there's not even a proxy pylon, as you were saying. He's just warping in the DTs at home and just walking them across the map.
Concerned something was wrong with the brain.
My bad,
Yeah.
not Prince, not Prince. I was talking about Prince. I was talking about myself.
I know you were talking about you.
Okay. He's going for Blink.
Yeah, this is wild. And are there any spores? Oh, the spores are not ready. He might be able to just jump on top of this spore.
Oh my god, it's going to be so close. The spore's going to finish up just in time. The DT goes for the drones, not for those spores. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a workers arrest here. It looks like 5 drones are going to be going down. Meanwhile, no spore in the main.
Yeah, no spore in the main whatsoever. This is hitting so early because he's skipping that robo, because he is hitting it so well by taking that third base. Solar really getting caught off guard here. He's going to be trying to surround this DT with the units, and very nicely done there.
Yeah, very nice hold position there. It looks like the DT is finally going to get cleaned up. But you know what? 2 DTs for 9 drones. That is definitely worth it here. That is already damage being done.
Yeah, not bad at all. And that is not where the madness stops. He does have that DT blink on the way, so he will be looking to just maybe blink in on top of one of these spores, snipe it down, and get a lot of damage on the base, deny mining for a little while as well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And we'll see if he can achieve a little bit more here, as now we have 4 DTs, defensive DTs here at the third base, but they are going to be revealed. They are going to be spotted by this Ling if Solar was paying attention. And what do you do as a Zerg player? Like, this is almost like PvT-esque when you've got like a base sniping hit squad of DTs. They just show up and they just kill your planetary. What are you gonna do about it?
You cured my hiccups, puppy.
Like,
DT's attacking your planetary.
Yeah, the problem is that, the Terran, you can repair, you can get the surround. Oh my god, I love it.
I
The
love
hallucinated
that.
prism.
Yeah, that is really cool. He's going to be showing that to the Overlord. That's going to drag a lot of units up into the main, and it's just going to fade out right before. But while he does that, jump straight on top of the spore, is it going to be able to get that surface area he needs? And this base is a forfeit.
Oh my god, do we have an overseer? We have a couple of transfuses to save the hatchery. It looks like it's going to be able to come in, but the hatchery goes down.
Yeah, the DPS of the DTs is absolutely insane. They're even going to be able to blink away from this Overseer, almost getting out of there. The Overseer just going to be able to catch up, but he has bought himself so much time. He's keeping Solar completely over on his side of the map, and Solar is forced into almost an all-in position now.
Yeah, he's got to go for the counterattack made. Numas has Carapace finished up just a 1 second too late to save that hatchery. Do we have enough at home to defend? Blink just finished up, but we have a massive amount of Stalkers.
Yeah, we're getting a lot more Stalkers warped in here for Prince and Solar. Seems like he's in two minds about going for this attack, and he is really down on bases, down on the economy as well. Prince looking poised to create the 2-0 upset here. That would be insane.
Oh my god, he didn't get the memo about the Team GP, the Team GP maneuver, puppy. Oh my god, he's popping off, and I'm relating so much to Solar right now. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, he is mustering a defense right now. We do have Roach Speed on the way. We do have a little bit of a Dropper Lord being set up outside the main base of Prince, but what about the main push?
Yeah, these Blink Stalkers just going to be able to constantly trade with these Roaches, with these Queens, with the Ravagers, just blinking back and forth, getting whatever damage that they can. And honestly, he can stay here for a long time with this. That Force Field going to be cutting off a lot of the units, and looks like he is starting to break through.
Oh my god, he is breaking on through. The Roaches are falling. They are crumbling. There's no buffer remaining for those Ravagers. At the same time, we have a Ling run by into the main base, but it looks like we do have a Warp in at home to defend. Probes are not falling, and these Stalkers are not stopping.
Yeah, these Stalkers are getting so much damage here. Almost all the Roaches have been taking out, just Ravagers and Queens remaining, and there's so little here for Solar to defend. Prince just going to be backing off just that tiny little bit, letting those shields start to recharge.
Yeah, exactly. We even have an Adept getting in there as well, getting in on the action. Looks like a couple of probes are going to go down at the natural base. Meanwhile, I do think that Prince could have maybe been a little bit more aggressive here to get on top of those Ravagers. He's being very careful, very delicate with his push at this third base. It is giving Solar a lot of time.
Yeah, he's giving Solar a fair bit of time to get these Roaches back up, even to get his own counter damage as 10 of those probes go down, but he only just got this third base up and mining, and as these Stalkers start to break on through, they will be getting a few shots here and there onto those drones, onto this hatchery as well. The hatchery already on half health.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The hatchery getting lower and lower. Meanwhile, the Biles are going to be connecting here. A lot of Stalkers are actually going down over time. 3 more Stalkers go down. Again, Prince, the micro isn't exactly perfect, but it looks like it may just be good enough anyway. I'm just waiting for the blink on forward, Poppy. Come on. The Ravagers, they're so exposed.
Yeah, we have those reinforcing Stalkers, and now the drones have to be pulled. This looks like the beginning of the end of Solar, as Prince just trying to blink back in these little groups, dodging out those Biles, just getting as many shots off as he can with these Stalkers. And yeah, we see those Lings just being F2'd back, desperation coming out of Solar.
Oh, exactly. A couple more Ravagers come into play here again. Prince doesn't want to throw this away. He knows how close he is. GG gets called, and Prince takes the 2-0.
GG, we see a little bit of a fist pump there, and I think as soon as that camera is turned off, he is going to be spending a little time with that toaster.
Oh, let's go, Bobby. There's so many ways you can take that phrase.
He's just going to make some raisin toast, and he's going to eat it.
Oh, he's gonna eat it, Papi. Oh my god, let's go. Hope he posts some of those pictures on Instagram, Papi. I would love to see them. But with this 2-0, that's a massive upset here. That's a massive result for Prince.
Yeah, and that puts a lot of pressure on Neeb now, because Neeb has to 2-0 to avoid his team going to an ace in a PvP. And PvP is not the most safe stock standard matchup. Neeb does play it in a bit of a way that does make it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more predictable, but Nightmare is anything but predictable.
Oof, anything but predictable, Poppy. Like, as you were saying, it's not just a regular PvP. It's a PvP where they're going to be alternating. One game will be on the United States, and the other game will be on Korea as well. So it's going to be difficult for either one of these players to take the 2-0. And if we go 1-1 apiece, then we are going to be going to the ace match.
Yeah, and I mean, Onsyde, they do have that extra little it factor of if they go to the ace match, they can probably send Maru.
That's true.
If Maru gets a TVP, I don't know. I don't see Maru losing to Prince or Nightmare, but I say that, and I remember that in the last season of Team League, Prince actually took out Maru in an ace match with a cannon rush.
Oh my god, do you think they'll do that again? Do you think for the ace match they bring out Prince?
I think they said Prince, yeah.
Oh god.
Just to trigger him.
Not like this, Papi. Not like this. Yeah, I mean that could happen. But of course, we're not there yet, right? It would have to be a 1-1 scenario for that to happen. Is there a world where even Nightmare 2-0s? That would be crazy.
That would be really crazy. That would be a huge upset. We've already seen it earlier on in this week of World Team League. It was, jog my memory. Alpha X and the almost upset.
Oh, it
Earlier in
was
the
DPG.
Hang on, I got this open. It was Alpha X and Starving Camels.
Oh, SSLT. Yeah.
Yeah. Starving Camels almost getting that huge upset over Alpha X, and once again we see one of the lower on the table teams looking to upset one of the top 3 teams. So it's been a spicy week so far.
Yeah, very spicy week indeed. So we'll see if we can get even spicier as the players are here. We're going to be having a look at some of their stats. Not a bad hexagon here. We got a lot of 7s, a couple of 8s as well. Nightmare, he isn't the most well-known Protoss player, but he has his own accomplishments. He's a GSL level player. I would say that he's probably a little bit higher tier compared to Prince. So, he's powerful in his own right.
Yeah, I'll pay that. As we do have this hexagon for Neeb. I think they're underrating him a little bit, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Neeb, he's typically the champion of North America, and I feel like we do see him as one of the best foreigners out there. I know we give a lot of limelight to the Europeans, so it's sometimes hard to judge, Neeb and Estrella and compare them because we have to wait for these big regional tournaments. Oh, sorry, big main tournaments, not so much the regional ones. But Neeb, he's a beast, and he has to come in here as a favorite.
Yeah, I think 100% a favorite. Neeb has shown time and time again that he is a world-class Protoss, one of the best in the world. There are sometimes some questions in terms of whether he's been practicing, what kind of form that he's in, but when he is in form, he can hang with the best of them. I think of him as well as one of the only Protosses that can hang with Cyril in the late game. He has stellar late game.
Oh yeah, his late game is kind of legendary in a way. I know Scarlett has spoken time and time again that she just doesn't want to play Neeb in that late game situation because he's just unstoppable. So yeah, of course that is a bit of a different matchup. That is of course a PvZ. PvPs. Are we gonna get a late game? Probably not. Yeah, it's gonna be very different.
I kind of hope not. But yeah, that is very unlikely because we do have a waterfall coming in as the first map. This is a very small map. This is a map where you just see very scrappy fights that tend to, as they're kind of pushing back and forth and swaying either way, they just naturally end up right in front of the bases because the thirds just really aren't that far away from each other. So what can be a fight that goes a little bit one-sided to one player can just end the game outright.
Oh, it really can. We've spoken and even casted things like DTs ending games or just outpositioning each other with Blink Stalkers, or sometimes the builds just don't line up very well against each other either. There's a reason why a lot of people do kind of look at this matchup and they bring up coin flips a little bit, and it's not necessarily the case, but like there are definitely coin flippy aspects at times, and that's just what makes this that much more chaotic.
Yeah, 100%. But for Neeb, I know that he has been favoring one gate expands as well, and he is the kind of player that is just going to play things pretty textbook, pretty standard most of the time. So I'm looking for him to be the defender against Nightmare.
Oh yeah, I am looking for that as well. Or at least that's what I expect to see out of Neeb. I'm going to be shocked if he's going to be suddenly the aggressor and he like throws down a forge or something and tries to like cannon rush Nightmare or something crazy, like pull a Prince. Yeah, I don't really expect that too much. As the players are just getting ready here. I know it's very early in the land of the Americas. As a team with American players ourselves, we know that it can sometimes be difficult. I'm sure Neeb is here just, maybe even getting some toast.
It can be so early that they just don't wake up.
Oh my god. What other toast? You know, I've never had a hot cross bun before. That's never.
What?
I don't even know what it really is. I know it's Australian. I know there's like a song, right?
Not really.
Not really. Maybe
I
it's
don't
British.
think so. I thought it's just a. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
On Good Friday in UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, India, Pakistan, US. So mostly Commonwealth countries.
Yeah, the Commonwealth countries. Yeah.
But the US as well. I mean, it's basically it's just like it's like raisin bread, but just like more dense and with like the cross on top. I used to work at a baker's delight, so I've made a lot of hot cross buns in my time.
Fair
It used to be the busiest day of the year. We'd be open basically from someone would come in at like 8 p.m. the day before, and we'd be working all the way through till like 3 p.m. the next day, just making only hot cross buns. What's
that for, like Anzac Day or something?
Good Friday.
There we go. Good Friday.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's intense, Papi. That's intense.
They're good. They have the same problem as raisin bread because they have a lot of raisins in them.
Problem? You mean the same advantages, Papi? You know, that's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, so do you like toast hot cross buns, or are they already hot?
I mean, like if you can get them from a bakery hot, that's pretty good. But like you cut them in half and then you like open them up and then you can like put them in an oven or microwave or toast them and then butter them.
Yeah.
They're good.
Okay.
Or you just eat them raw like an animal. That's how I eat them.
One of these days, Papi, when I go to Melbourne, we're gonna get some Melbourne coffee and we're gonna get some hot cross buns. Okay, we're gonna get some raisin bread and we're gonna eat it on stream. It's gonna be amazing.
We have to come around Easter then.
Aye. Oh god.
And they start selling them pretty early. It's like Christmas. Like they start selling hot cross buns in January.
Oh my god.
They're animals.
Animals, Papi. What's your other go-to bread? Like we know what king toast is, okay? What other toast? Is there other toast?
Yeah, there's other toast. I kind of like a 9-grain, like the 9 seeds and grain one.
9-grain. Don't you have to be careful though, because you can like over toast the grains that are in the bread?
I don't toast it.
Okay. Wait, what's that? I'm talking about toast.
Oh, yeah, I don't actually like toast. I prefer to just eat bread.
Okay. Shaky, man.
You got the wrong guy.
You're like, oh mate, like what kind of toast do you like? He's like, 9-grain. I'm like, oh really? You toast that? He's like, no, I don't like toast. Thanks for that, Asher.
It's like, what kind of toast do you like? Strawberries.
Aye. Not like
tell me about toast. Go on.
Oh my god. No, that's. Oh wait, have you ever had like the sandwich presses where you like you put bread, you put whatever,
like
and
a tuna melt.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I lived off in year 12 and in uni.
Oh my god.
I literally just had cereal, Easy Mac, and ham and cheese, like toasted sandwiches.
Yeah, like same. I used to love them. It's been a long time, but
it's just like so cheap. You can just like buy a loaf of bread, you buy like a thing of cheese, and then you buy like a thing of ham, and that's just you sorted for like a week. probably not very good for you, but I don't know.
It's how we live. It's how we live, Papi. It's how we live. Like what do you ask? What else do you want from us?
Not dead yet. And 2-minute noodles, of course, or like ramen.
Oh yeah, ramen, like Maggi noodles as well. Yeah.
Animal. Indomie.
What do you mean?
Huh? You have to have Indomie. It's the best mee goreng.
Indomie. I think I know.
Indomie.
I think I have this. Is this just
the
mee
white
goreng?
one with the red on it?
Yeah, the white one. Yeah.
They're good. The Indonesian ones.
Well, those are the ones that you're not meant to actually have as soup.
No, yeah, you drain it and then you
drain it. Yeah.
God, I'm so hungry. This is not good.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, speaking of dead, it looks like our streams did die for a little bit there, but here we go. The players are ready in the top right-hand corner of Waterfall, representing Team GP. Nightmare.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, in the red, playing for Onsyde, this is Neeb.
We may be completely unsynced because of the streams dying, but
Yay.
hopefully we can manage.
Kira stream's just gone. Aye, aye, aye.
Oh, is Kura not back? Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Oh, wait, no, okay, we're back. We're back. Okay,
We're back? Okay, we're not just talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh my god. Beautiful, puppy. Beautiful. All right, here we go. So, yeah, we're getting into our PvP. We're going for some gate expands here. No one's crazy enough to go for the 2-gate opener on a ramp map. And Nightmare, once again, mate, he's rocking that scarf.
Yeah, he's got the cravat ready to chef up a storm.
Oh, exactly, mate. He's ready to go over to Prince's house and make some toast.
Make him some toast.
Only the best toast, Buffy. Oh my god. But yeah, you know, maybe it's like his comfort clothes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like the hood.
Yeah,
you don't need a hood when you're Protoss because there's nothing to be sad about.
Exactly. So now he can actually just worry more about his stylistic choices instead of, you know, being comfortable.
Like,
he's always comfortable.
Life is good. I might bake a loaf of bread. You know?
As again, we have some pretty standard openers here. Both of our players are looking to deny and delay each other's natural bases with their probes, forcing out a couple of zealots here. Nightmare did indeed throw down that pylon. Meanwhile, Nightmare gets his own base up and running.
Yeah, we do see that Nexus going down a little bit earlier for Nightmare. Both players being forced to make those zealots as well. So we are just going to be seeing this little tit for tat between the two players as Neeb only just... still not getting his Nexus down. Is he throwing down a Stargate or... Yeah, there we go. The Nexus has gone down, but a pretty big delay on that.
Yeah, he was waiting to kill that pylon, so it really did slow him down in the end. He really didn't want to delay his base there. Finally is that Stargate, much faster than that of his opponents. We'll see if Nightmare can get some eyes on this as we have a little bit of a skirmish, a little bit of a dance between these two Stalkers.
Yeah, they will just be scuttling along after one another. As we just see Neeb just backing off there. And it does look like neither player wants to be the first one to jump it, going for a more aggressive build, trying to punish their opponent. They are just going to progress further on in. But I say that Nightmare hasn't really thrown down any tech yet.
Yeah, he throws down a second gateway instead, so this feels pretty greedy. He does have a lot of gas to work with here. I'm curious. There we go. Finally, the Twilight Council is going to be thrown down a little bit late, not gonna lie, to get into his blink. I'm also concerned just because, again, he hasn't really gotten his eyes on too much here. He's gonna have to get in position or at least throw down the shield battery for that Oracle.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see that shield battery going down, we do have that one finishing up in the main for Neeb as well, so he will be prepared for any kind of Oracle play, which isn't what's coming his way, but the player really being able to get a full scout here as we do see that Oracle finishing up, and we'll be going across the map for Neeb.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's all about the positioning of those shield batteries. I did see them thrown down for Nightmare, but where exactly are they? We have one at the natural base. Do we have one in the main? And if we don't, do we have some Stalkers in position? As Blink has now started, we have a third gateway for both of our players as well to get into our Stalkers, and the Oracle gets in towards the natural.
Shield battery, where are you? Did you see a few of those probes going down to these Oracles? Neeb, really good with his Oracle control, is going to be getting that out on full health after getting those 3 probes. He's going to be dipping on back here, realizes that there's not much vision here for Nightmare, but yeah, just going to be backing on out of there. Nice control though.
Gotta find that mystery. Is that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Shield
know
battery.
that's how it goes, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I didn't even watch that show as a kid.
No, me neither.
How do we know the song?
I don't know. The internet, man.
The internet, Bobby. The internet. Oh my god. Well, Sakura, do you know what song we're talking about? As Neeb is going to be throwing down his third base, both players are getting their next site up and running, just committing to our Blink Stalkers. Neither one of our players has actually thrown down a Forge yet. Ooh, Nightmare instead going to be going for a Robo.
Yeah, Nightmare just going to be the first to poke out across the map. That does make sense with his blink finishing up a little bit earlier. Does it poke up towards that third? And yeah, he'll be able to take some really nice trades with Neeb, who doesn't have blink here. So Neeb just going to be very careful.
Yeah, very nice timing here from Nightmare. He forces the cancel on that shield battery, gets a kill on a Stalker as well, gets eyes on that third base, and then we'll blink the hell out of there. Neeb will finally catch up in that upgrade, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Nightmare to really abuse him, but I'm really curious to see what comes out of this Robo, as instead, Neeb is going to be committing to a more Stalker-heavy style.
I just realized where I know that song from. I know it from Vines.
Vines! Oh my,
There's
that's a
Vine sound where it's just
throwback.
like, Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? We've got some work to do.
Oh my, you're such a boomer.
I got like really addicted to Vines for a little while, and I just
Oh
watched
my
YouTube
God.
compilations of them like every night. Like I
Oh
probably
my
watched like an hour of Vines every night for like 3 months straight.
Jesus Christ.
I have issues, but they're so good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, that's why TikTok is so popular nowadays as well. Same diff, puppy, same
Yeah,
diff.
it's not the same. It's not as good.
Meanwhile, we do have Neeb trying to find a way into the main base here. He does have that high ground vision due to that Oracle, but no, decides to back off in the end. Nightmare's going to have a hard time keeping up with these rotations, though, because he just doesn't have vision. Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's nothing over here. I would have loved to see maybe a pylon here just to get a little bit of extra vision, but this is the first he sees of these Stalkers, and they're going to be able to go in, depower some of these units. Very nicely done by Neeb there, just so precise with his units.
Yeah, exactly. I was worried that he was going to leave without taking down that pylon, but no, he just, just sends a couple of shots in that direction very nonchalantly. Very slick, very slick.
Yeah, he's really slick. I've actually been so impressed so far by his Oracle movement. He's controlling it so well. They're really hard to control, actually.
Yeah, they're fast. They're fast boys. They just want to move forward, Bobby. You have to be really careful. As we do have Immortal production commencing here for Nightmare, he does have an Immortal lead. Neeb is looking to catch up in that respect, and also he will be able to get into +1 attack in a couple of seconds. So Nightmare is just going to be perpetually behind in those Stalker upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see those upgrades coming out. Meanwhile, there is a charge coming out here for Nightmare, so he will have a little bit of a timing. And we are seeing that he is syncing up his Warp Prism with that as well. So I'm expecting him to look for a little push across the map, but it looks like Neeb's going to be the one going first.
Yeah, exactly. He comes across this fourth base, and once again, Nightmare has no vision. He has no scouting. He had no idea where the army was, and he's going to be forced to cancel this.
Yeah, Neeb is catching Nightmare out of position over and over.
Yeah, he really is. And the Nexus finishes. It's not going to be worth it. He does throw down a couple of force fields. Looks like he will get a kill on that Immortal.
Yeah, that Immortal just kind of glitching out as it's caught between all of those force fields. And this fight is going to be very close between these two players, but it looks like the Immortal of Prince just going to sway it in his favor. But the Zealots are getting on top of the Immortal.
Oh, yeah, the Zealot reinforcements are going to be able to dive on top of that Immortal. It looks like Nightmare just doesn't have enough here. He's slowly being pushed back, and that Immortal goes down.
Yeah, Neeb with that +1 advantage, taking some fantastic trades here. At the same time, his Oracle was able to take out some of those probes in the main of Nightmare, and these constant Zealot warp-ins are just really hard for Nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. He just can't keep up with that production behind this. Neeb is getting his own fourth base. The Oracle dips back in to get even more probe kills again. The lack of shield battery has really hurt Nightmare over the course of this game. And soon, Neeb, he's going to be back, not just with +1, but with +2.
You see that Hero Oracle just drifting on out of there. And yeah, Neeb very close to his +2 timing. Has that Twilight Archives coming up as well. So he would be able to start getting into Archons to help him deal with the Zealots of his opponent. But I wonder if it's even going to get that far.
Oh, God, exactly. We'll see if he can get there in the end. We'll see if he can survive. Meanwhile, Nightmare once again trying to get that fourth base, but he just doesn't have vision. He doesn't see the rotations, puppy. He's just never here in time.
Yeah, Neeb just over and over again abusing this lack of map vision from Nightmare, and he's going to be happy to take this fight here. The Zealots completely overwhelming, and they're getting on top of the Stalkers now.
Yeah, they get on top of the Stalkers. They take down the Prism as well in the midst of warping in a wave of reinforcing Zealots. Immortal shows up, was for a moment caught by a couple of reinforcing Zealots of Nightmare, but was saved in the end. We have an Overcharge. Overcharge is going to buy Nightmare a little bit of time.
Yeah, the overcharge is going to be causing Neeb to back off there. We do see him setting up that stasis trap as well, so kind of setting up a bait, but Nightmare, he is wise to it. Blinks forward one Stalker, but yeah, you can see he realizes he is really far behind here. We can kind of see him squirming around a little bit in that camera.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling a little bit uncomfortable due to the positioning here. He knows he's behind in the supply. He's behind in the bases. Neeb is getting a 5th, by the way. He's up 2 bases compared to what Nightmare has to offer. He's got the Immortals. He has +2, +3 on the way. And Nightmare, he's barely hanging on.
Yeah, lovely blink micro out of Neeb, followed by an aggressive blink on in. These Zealots are getting a little bit caught behind these Stalkers. Not the most efficient trades coming out from Neeb, but he is up a base. It doesn't matter. He just wants to trade units for units and starve out Nightmare.
Oh, exactly, and he is starving, but we have a couple more Stalkers warping in. There is no overcharge remaining here. He does have a good position on top of this ramp, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, just watching that Stalker blink ping pong back and forth, and Neeb gets the win. Is going to be able to put Onsyde on game point.
Oh, yes, very well done there. Neeb does take a lead here in this series. And now Nightmare is on the back foot. It's not over for his team. Again, if he takes one game, he will force that ace match. But we'll see if he can do it. It is going to be his map choice.
Yeah, exactly. So Nightmare, if he does have anything prepared, if he does have this little ace up his sleeve, maybe a map that he has a special DT strategy for, we are going to be seeing that coming out as he picks Data Under the Sea.
Oh, Data, we're going under the sea, Poppy. Interesting choice here for Nightmare. You could argue that maybe the attack paths are a little bit more obvious. Like, it's hard to say. Like, I'm sure Nightmare's aware that, like, what he was struggling with was just keeping up with the army of Neeb. But to fix that, like, of course, there's more that he has to change, you know, whether it's getting out observers, whether it's scouting or getting tags with revelations and opening up with a Stargate to make use of an Oracle. There are different ways to go about it. We'll see if he goes for any of them.
Yeah, I could definitely see him just mixing up this opening a little bit just to not let it go to that stage as well. He might want to go for something that's a little bit more all in. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that, but it is a bigger map, so that kind of goes against that as well.
True. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll see what he decides to go for here, what his plan is. I don't want to believe that he wants like a longer macro game, which is kind of what Data C lends towards. Maybe he feels like he's confident there. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know anything about PvP anymore after watching that Stardock vs. Everyone series.
It did break the brain a little bit, you know. It for those wondering what we're talking about, earlier today we did cast ANZ champs. We had a PvP of our own, but now we are in a different PvP altogether. In the bottom left hand corner, representing Team GP, we have Nightmare.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, with the chance to save his team from the ace match, this is Onsyde Gaming's Neeb.
Oh, here we go. Potentially the final game of this series. Neeb, if he wins it for his team. Onsyde Gaming will come out victorious. Nightmare needs to take this game to bring it to the ace match.
Yeah. I think he's going to need to do something a little bit sneaky, and I think he knows as well this is a one-gate expand map, so he might have something in store to try to punish that, but at the same time, Neeb, he's a very strong defensive player, so yeah, I'm curious what's going to go down here as we actually see Neeb isn't taking his gas.
Yeah, once again, our players are going for gate expands. As you're saying, Neeb is going gasless for a faster Nexus. This is very kind of ZVP-esque, where you go for a faster hatchery so you don't get blocked. Likewise, Neeb goes for a faster base so he doesn't get blocked. Gasil, take
very interesting, but does try to take both gases there. I love that.
Oh my god, how the meta evolves, Puppy's like, mate, look, I'm gonna make sure I actually expand. It's like, okay, I'll take your gas.
Your gas is mine. We do see Nightmare. He's gonna be taking out that gas. He's gonna be delaying any kind of Stargate opener coming out from Neeb, and it's gonna be interesting to see if he has a specific way to punish that, as well as he is throwing down his own Nexus quite early too.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll see how far ahead he can get economically. I do like this Neeb is not going to waste any time trying to kill that gas geyser. He's just going to take his second gas at the natural instead. It is of course still going to be delayed, but it is kind of best case scenario or the best way to handle this kind of situation here if you are Neeb and if you do want to get that tech up and running.
Yeah, exactly. We do see him croning out that adept as well, so might be looking to send that across the map to get a little bit of scouting as we do see that second gateway going down, realizing that he's a little bit low on the gas.
Oh god, exactly. Meanwhile, we do see, again, everyone's just getting their bases up and running. I don't believe Nightmare's own Nexus was delayed too much either. He wasn't forced to get a Zealot out or anything like that. And both players are following up with Adepts.
Yeah, exactly. So we are just seeing that scouting probe finally going down there. We see a robo coming up from Nightmare. Interesting.
Oh my, yeah. I think what's interesting is that this is also a part of the wall. Oh no, the wall was a little 1 second too late.
Yeah, that was so close. Nightmare just at the millisecond too late getting that down, and we're seeing a lot of damage for Neeb. Nightmare skipping a little bit on the units, is going to be taking out the Adept, is going to be preventing that extra scout, but there's another one coming in and a Twilight behind this for Neeb, so they're putting on a lot of pressure, and this Adept once more going to be getting into the base, getting a full scout.
Yeah, things are going from bad to worse here for Nightmare as the probes are falling left and right. Ay. We also get a full scout of the main base as well. I believe the Adept wasn't close enough to see the Twilight Council, but he can assume that there's going to be a Twilight Council follow-up anyway, as Nightmare goes straight for that Prism.
Yeah, and Neeb 5-6 workers ahead now. Of course, getting that Nexus up a lot earlier is going to help with that. And I do think it's on Nightmare here to get the damage. But Neeb actually going for a DT shrine of his own. I love this play. Realizing that he is going to be the defender. This does kind of change the math of everything.
This is going to be interesting because he scouted the robo first, and yeah, this is what I was worried about. Nightmare does have a detection on the way. He does have an observer on the way, so he will have a way to deal with these DTs. Potentially, he could even depower the robo though, as there is only one pylon powering everything on that front wall. But yeah, Neeb isn't aware that there is already an observer.
Yeah, but I say Neeb going for this proxy pylon. I think what he's going to be looking to do is wait till that observer comes out with the attack of Nightmare. And then just send that DT attack in. But yeah, we do see Nightmare is going to be popping into this main. Is going to be able to start down, focusing down some of these probes. But nice reactions from Neeb.
Yeah, I'm really curious as well because the Adepts, did they scout the Dark Shrine? Because the Dark Shrine is right next to the main base on the left-hand side. So I don't know if the Adepts got close enough to actually spot that. We'll have to wait and see if he does end up getting surprised by those DTs, as Nightmare is going to be looking to get into the main once again.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to poke back in with those two Adepts. We do see that pylon for Neeb is ready to go. So if he wants to slow warp in a few of those DTs, he will be able to. And it looks like that is exactly what he's going to be going for.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Prism still doesn't find a way in. Neeb doing a great job at zoning away that Prism. DTs are going to be rolling in towards the natural base. And now the big question is, where is that Observer?
Observer, where are you? Got some work to do.
The Adepts are getting work done. Speaking of, they're going to be able to focus on a lot of these probes. Meanwhile, at the same time, one DT gets into the main base, the other DT gets into the natural, and they are going to wreak havoc upon these probes.
Yeah, they're catching Nightmare completely off guard. Complete chaos going down as Nightmare was just concentrating on those Adepts there. We see beautiful force fields in there going to be trapping those units, but the Warp Prism just getting out amongst all the chaos, and looks like the Observer was there in time, but 12 probes going down. So much mining time lost as well.
Oh my god, this is just getting way out of hand. 13 probes going down in the end. I mean, Nightmare does clean everything up eventually, and he is going to have the opportunity to maybe even go for a counterattack, but oh my god, look at that units lost tab.
Yeah. This has been an insane game for Neeb, as we do see him just probing up that third as well. We see the production tab kind of tells the tale. There's all sorts of stuff going down for Neeb, and it feels like for Nightmare, he's putting a lot of his eggs into this one basket, pushing this attack at the front here. Oh
boy, here we go. I mean, Neeb, he is being spread a little bit thin. He is being distracted by these Adepts over on the left-hand side. At the same time, the main army is going to push in towards the third base. There's not really too much here to defend. Nightmare taking one moment too long to respond, but he is getting on top of the shield battery.
Yeah, he is, and that shield battery going to go down straight away. Some nice force fields coming out as well. He's going to be able to protect those immortals as they are microed back, blocking out the probes from the surround as well. But Neeb, with a very aggressive blink forward, takes out the prism.
Takes out the prism. Slow lots of getting on top of these immortals as well. There is no way out here for Nightmare. He's going to try and escape with what little he has, but if he does, he will be giving up this immortal. Oof.
Yeah, we see 11 of those probes going down, but the worker count still very slightly in Neeb's favor after all of this.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous prospect because Neeb, he doesn't just have the worker lead, he also has the base lead. He did expand and take a 4th base whilst defending. Now he has the immortal lead as he was able to reset that count. He's pushing out across the map. Doesn't quite have a way to reinforce. He doesn't have a prism, but he may not even need it.
Yeah, he's just catching Nightmare out of off guard here before all of his gateways come up, and he will be able to take out some trades with his Stalkers, and there is just not enough here for Nightmare to defend. The shield battery overcharge going to be turning Neeb back for the moment, but he can just continue to dance back and forth and skirmish with these units.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, this is kind of ideal for Nightmare, though, because of this overcharge. He's going to be able to top up every single one of the Stalkers. He has the defensive Immortal as well. He's going to be able to hold on, but, ooh, overextends a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension with that blink. He's going to be jumping on for the Immortal, trading out really nicely with the Stalkers of Nightmare, and Neeb really applying the pressure now.
Yeah, exactly. And now with these Zealots, it looks like he's going to be able to get on top of the Immortal once again here, resetting that Immortal count. The shield battery, it's out of energy. There's no overcharge. There's nothing left, and the Immortals power on through for Neeb.
Yeah, Immortals are going to be taking out all these Stalkers. These Zealots just hacking and slashing, cornering those Stalkers, and now Nightmare has been cut off from his probes, cut off from his 3rd, and the game GG is called.
GG. Nightmare with an interesting opener going for the Robo first for the Prism, but it was only for Adept Harass, and it wasn't bad Harass. We saw him get a decent amount of probes. If only he himself wasn't losing a bunch of workers earlier to singular Adepts just slipping on through and getting into his bases.
Yeah, exactly. So Neeb just looking really in control all the way throughout. Nightmare put up a very good fight, but Onsyde Gaming in the end, avoiding the upset, are going to be able to take the 4-2 victory over Team GP. And that means it's time for the boys. It's time for CranKy Ducklings.
Let's go, papi. The Ducklings, Los Patitos, they are awake. Dole and Patty Mac and Vindita are going to be coming out strong here against Team Liquid in 4.5 minutes. So everyone, get some water, go to the bathroom, go and stretch, get your bodies ready here because this is going to get wild.
Go to Uber Eats, find a grocery store, buy some raisin bread, buy some butter, toast that shit.
See you guys in 4 minutes.